The Pro Modifieds in their second and final qualifying session of the day. Nitrous oxide injected Pro Modified machine stage out of the Danbury, Connecticut and Toronto, Ontario on the line, and a pair of nitrous injected 630 cubic inch plus Firebirds. Steve Gabriel over the San Luis lane inside of the program. Blue banged off, leads from top 40. Banged off on a great run here for him. The 715 at Hawkins. 209.54 miles per hour. Here he is, four-time and reigning Pro Modified World Champ, the All-Star Magazine Willie driver, Johnny Cannon. Very, very appreciated burnout for Cannon. The man that's all three-time medalist on the field up to 200 engine temperature. Meanwhile, the San Luis lane, there's going to be a battle of the Titans because folks, closest to the midside grandstands is the world's quickest nitrous oxide injected Pro Modified. The pad forward driven Larry Nance owned catch 22 68 Chevy Camaro from Cleveland, Ohio. Larry Nance, of course, the big guy on the starting line, the NBA superstar from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the owner of the machine that you're looking at that won the most recent IHRA Snap-on Tools event in Baltimore, Maryland 3 weeks ago. Cannon went out of that event in the whole shot, but remains the quickest Pro Mod driver in history at 6.50 seconds. To 672. But while that particular battle looks close, remember, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, with the temperature hovering over 90 degrees, Cannon ran actually quicker in 6.67 seconds. Great run for a normally aspirated machine in this air by Pat Moore and Larry Nance. This time around, Greg Aiken out of Paris, Illinois, with his supercharged 1968 Chevy Nova, another car that is actually produced some pretty spectacular runs this year, dipping into the 6.6 second zone, although his first effort here today was a 7:10. You can see, by the way, the bump spot has changed. I'll take the 7:14 to get in the program, and that bump is held by Canadian Gary Irving. Alongside the blown Nostalgia Nova, how about the nitrous oxide injected Carolina Hooker 63 Corvette of longtime top sportsman Pro Mod standout Ken Regenthal. Regenthal brought again at 7:05, into like a 7:10, both very slight improvement for Regenthal. Honestly predicted that won't stay in the field by tomorrow night. Here is indeed the man who has stepped up his driving ability remarkably in 1995. Carl Moyer out of Ankeny, Iowa, the owner of the largest Chevy dealership on the planet, backs up his show quality 1938 Chevy Business Coupe over in the Snap-on Tools lane. The Musco racetrack lighting sponsored machine was actually the very first Pro Mod to go down the racetrack today, and that run is still good for the number 3 spot at 6.82 seconds. Alongside him, Ed Burnley, the Baltimore, Maryland driver of Randy Delano's yellow, orange, and blue Z28 nitrous oxide injected Camaro. Both cars, by the way, using Scott Shafarov produced 706 cubic inch nitrous oxide injected carbureted GM engines. here. Nope, real close, 685. Westfall of upstate New York in his supercharged Oldsmobile Corvette, only the second, actually third of the supercharged Pro Mods we've seen in this session. Blew up alongside industrialist Billy Harvey. Laboring badly all the way down to a 708. There. In competition here at the 31st Annual Spring Annual. From the Chicagoland area, it's the immaculate purple, green, yellow, and gold, even white Chevy Lumina feed burner. The Steger, Illinois campaigner, 632 cubic inch nitrous injected race car, will be up against Greensboro, North Carolinian Dale Brinsfield, who actually has played the Pro Modified game on and off now for a couple of years. His machine also utilizing nitrous oxide injection, capable of 6-second runs. He ran 689 at 200 earlier today. Gorgeous Lumina was shut down after his tire heating burnout in the first qualifying session today, so this will be his first attempt at getting to the finish line. He sees what he has to do, run quicker than 7.14 seconds. Good run coming here. 687. They're up. Will pit. One driver who's got to step his act up in this race if he hopes to win a world championship. The Summit Racing Equipment Supercharged CR1 Corvette of Wentzville, Missouri's Bill Coleman. Many people consider to be one of the original founders of the top sportsman and pro modified movement. But one thing's for sure, Coleman hopes for a world championship. Unless he does something miraculous at this drag race. Of the first 3 events this year, Coleman has failed to qualify for 2 of them. And even if he won this 31st Annual Spring Nationals, he'd have to hope for some horrible luck to befall Scotty Cannon, Tommy Mooney, and in the second round of the recent President's Cup Nitrous Nationals, little Tony Norfleet, the wheel of the Wiley and Phelps Bam's Toy, yellow and white nitrous injected Corvette CR1. Gets it. And it's 200 miles an hour. A whole lot of now the new bump spot. So Coleman 710 is almost guaranteed to be knocked out probably within the next couple of cars, although most of the machines you see out there right now are in the field. Gary Shearer, the Robert and Shearer nitrous injected Corvette that you see backing up behind the starting line in the Google Wing lane is actually the guard driven by the man who's at the wheel of the car in the other lane. Tim McGanus, the chassis builder out of St. Louis, Missouri, at the wheel of John C. Locke's incredible supercharged V1 wedge Chrysler-powered Dodge Avenger. McGanus created that Dodge. He also built the winged Corvette against which he's racing. The car that he drove to 2 national event titles in the last 2 seasons. Slower, even though 14 miles per hour faster than his early afternoon qualifying effort. McGanus' solid pass moves in from the middle of the field. Like I said, the number 3 between Carl Boyer and Pat Moore. Bill Coleman remains on the 7-10 bump spot. Here's a car that tomorrow night during the IHRA Night of Fire qualifying session is sure to be one of the crowd favorites. The aquamarine in yellow, 1957 Chevy Bel Air of Chicago area Steve Johnson. Runner alongside Baltimore, Maryland's Tommy Gray. Actually, both junior and senior out there. The old man in front of the 35-year-old at the wheel of the refrigerator white CR1 Nitrous car. Interestingly, Gray is not qualified after shaking the tires violently this morning. Johnson is only reasonably happy with his previous 6.93 second effort. Gray's got a good one going here. 680. The second Johnson, who stumbled badly on that 200. Incredibly decimated 1933 Willie 7 Cruiser of Johnny Rocket. His driver John Steelman is not in the program over in the top one lane. Either is Harry Ranger. One of them will get in. Well, neither one of them will get in as they both run into problems. 703, the rate of acceleration there. Classic examples, 2 different ways you can approach pro-modified competition of the IHRA Snap-on Tools Tour. It will be the supercharged Formula Firebird in the Scuba Racing Tool plane from Ontario, Canada, Bolton, Ontario, in fact. Gary Irving, he's and driver for that matter, has had reasonably good luck, but usually restricts his national event competition to the Northeastern Tour. Alongside him, team that has returned from tremendously damaged to the yellow and blue T28 Camaro you see in the Snap-on Tools lane. But Chris and Tommy Hunt have returned admirably. Their nitrous oxide injected the C car qualifying earlier at 684. There for the 684 recorded this This time around, the ultimate low buck racer, pro modified, at least this side of Steve Gabriel. Wayne Stott, who actually got his start in the earliest days of top sportsman eliminator, and who has made remarkable advances with the little Chevy Beretti's backing up in the Snap-on Tools lane. Despite only 665 cubic inches, this car has been in the mid-680s recently. Alongside him, though, if you've got your camera, you'll definitely want at least another picture of the first 95 Chevy Monte Carlo that hit the nation's drag strip. If you watch ESPN's coverage of sportsman drag racing on the Snap-on Tools Tour this year, you might have seen Irwin's incredibly destructive crash at the recent Super Nationals in his old ex-Billy Hobbs Beretta. This is the car that was on the Jake and Rick Jones race cars in Illinois when that car was destroyed. Ronnie Irwin moving up from top sportsman to pro modified and running 704 at 204 miles an hour earlier today in the heat of the day. Got to admit, the new Monte Carlos look pretty good in pro mod trips. Well, if you take 6/10 of a second off, it would have been solid. But Wayne Stott manages to pull another great run out of his hat. 698 at 200, although qualify him number 12. Irwin's previous 704 when Maine 715 bump spot. Now Billy Harper at 707. And yes, Wayne Stott's run did indeed bump Bill Coolman from the field again. Snap-on Tools World Championship points leader in Pro Modified on the virtue of 1 victory and 2 runners-up in the 3 events completed so far this season. The chassis builder from Charlotte, North Carolina, whose credits include the 1990 IHRA Pro Stock World Championship. Tommy Mooney, whose own personal 1941 Willys is not supercharged like that of Scotty Cannon's, but indeed utilizes nitrous oxide injection on a 706 cubic inch Pontiac engine. In fact, up until the recent President's Cup Nitrous Nationals in Baltimore, Maryland, this was the quickest nitrous oxide injected race car in history, as far as pro mod full body passenger cars are concerned. At 6.57 seconds for a career best. Mooney did not qualify in his first session run today, shaking the tires violently.